G'day you beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a build that I use all the time for Gideon. I call it Possessed God or God-eon. Either way, it is very strong build and I wanted to show it to you. It's probably not too much different to anything that anyone else uses, but this is going to be it anyway. So we'll go over the cards first and then we'll talk about order and stuff. So first up we have a Rejuvenator. It is a potion, a consumable potion that's going to give you health regen and mana regen. You'll have two charges. If you have the coins to spare, it's not a bad shout. Next up we have Advanced Evolution. It's a 1 intellect cost card. It restores 5% max health and 5% max mana per second for 3 seconds after leveling up. So every time you level up, you're going to be gaining max health. You're going to be gaining health rather, and mana. Next up we have Font of Experience. It's a very good card on Gideon because he's stupid strong once he gets his ultimate. He's just great to have in a team fight with his ultimate, so getting to that ultimate is very good. And as well as that, upgrading your 2 forms of rocks it's going to be very worthwhile for you. Next up we have Tower Strider, which just gives you a bit of movement speed when near any form of structure. It is a filler card. I very rarely actually put it on. Next up we have Mana Flow Acolyte. It's going to give you some power, and it's going to increase your max mana by 0.5% and power by 0.5% when purchasing Intellect. It is a filler card because unfortunately once you equip it, you're going to lose the power and mana effects. It can work quite well with Thaumaturge, but considering the fact that we're going to be running the next card, we don't really have too much room for another card. So the next card is Possessed Spriken. It gives you power and health, gives you 12.5 health regen, means you can be stupidly aggressive at the start of the game. And it works so well that it should be on most builds, unfortunately. Next up we have Invader Mage. It's going to give you 10 ability armor penetration and some power. That would be the next card that I would go for after I get Spriken. We have Power Tap. It's a 4,000 consumable card. You put this on, you consume it, it will disappear, and you will get a permanent increase of 15 power. It's very strong. A lot of people tend to finish out their intellect and then go into vitality. I prefer to actually finish off my intellect and then spend 4,000 on Power Tap to get that extra 15 power, because 15 power is more power than you actually get from your first 3 Fangtooth eliminations. So it's a very strong card. It's much better than the, say, 88 health you're going to get from 4 points into vitality, so it's very much worthwhile and a very underused card. Next up we have Thaumaturge. It has 2 passives, one which gives you power equal to 1% of your max mana, so the higher the better, and the other passive is gain 4 max mana whenever you deal damage to an enemy hero up to 300 max mana. It has a 4-second cooldown. And then the next card that we have is Atomic Soldier. This is one of our main cards. Ability damage is increased by 10%. Pretty easy to understand that. Then we have Sleeper Agent. It's an active. Silence target enemy hero for 3 seconds. Target takes 15% increased damage. Can be very strong. And Corrosive Walker. Bit of power, bit of health, and an active to reduce ability armor of nearby enemies for 30 for 6 seconds. The effect does not stack. Now a lot of the cards in here are just filler cards. Advanced Evolution, Tower Strider, Mana Flow Acolyte, and the last 2 cards, Sleeper Agent and Corrosive Walker, are all filler cards, because pretty much what I go for in this build is Atomic Soldier, Possessed Spriken and Invader Mage, or more of the time I'll actually go for Thaumaturge over Invader Mage, but Invader Mage being cheaper, it is good to have on until you have the points to go into Thaumaturge. But yeah, Atomic Soldier, Thaumaturge, and Possessed Spriken are going to be the full build for this. So what you're going to do once you get to max build, having Possessed Spriken, you can't get rid of it. Thaumaturge, you don't want to get rid of it because you'll lose the second passive. So you're going to take Atomic Soldier off every now and then and equip Power Tap, exit out of the card shop, use Power Tap to gain that 15 power, and then chuck Atomic Soldier back on. Alright, so now we'll take a look at the gems for this build, and then we'll talk about why we use them. We take Healing Towers, health and mana regen when near structures. It's a very handy little gem. Auto shield, gain 100 shield for 4 seconds when you fall below 25% max health. That can be very handy. Deadly mana, killing an enemy minion increases max mana by 2. Mana fountain, regen up to 10 mana per second based on missing mana. Spell shield, which blocks the next enemy ability, 55-second cooldown. And overpowered spells abilities deal 20% bonus damage and cost an additional 30% mana. So healing towers and auto shield are gonna work really well with your possessed sprite, and once you get it, you can dip in, do a bunch of damage, dip out, hang around on your tower and get all your health up super fast. The deadly mana is going to work well with Thaumaturge because it's going to work with your first passive on Thaumaturge, so you get more power because your mana bar is much higher. Mana Fountain, obviously, just going to regen some mana. Spell Shield is so that you don't get taken out of your ult so easily. And overpowered spells because his rocks can bloody hurt, so why not make them stronger? Now, as far as options go, if you don't have healing towers, I'm guessing a lot of people actually do. Quick Exit is a very good shout, so I'd probably go for that if you're going to replace that. As far as auto shield goes, Onslaught could be an okay pick to go for. It reduces your cooldowns by 0.2 seconds when you land a basic attack. Auto mana potion if you're desperate. As far as deadly mana goes, I probably would not go for blade turn. And experienced, although it sounds good, is very, very weak and very much not worth it. As far as the mana fountain tier 3 gem goes, I would you could go for Spellburn. Look, Spellburn is it does sound really, really great, but it's not necessarily as good as you think it is. Healing spells might be a good shout because healing for 5% of the big 600 odd damage that you're doing on your rocks can be well worthwhile. As far as the spell shield goes, you can go for ruthless spells if you want, deal an additional 1% ability damage every 10% of the enemy hero's missing health, but it's not really that good. I would definitely go for spell shield. If you don't have it, you're in a bit of a bother because it's probably the best option there. As far as your last gem goes, empowered attacks, I probably wouldn't go for that. I can see it working very, very well, but if you're not going to go for overpowered spells, which works pretty well considering that you're getting the extra mana from your deadly mana gem and whatnot, you can easily go for Amplify Aura because that's going to increase the damage that you do to people by 10%. So that is the build. There's a couple of little tidbits of possible changes to gems if you don't have them all, and a little brief on how I run them. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, smash the like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Subscribe for more Paragon content. With that said, thanks so much for watching. I love your face, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.